Well, with no further ado, let's get into Tech Talk that you don't
Stop.
Tech Talk that you don't
Stop.
Well, welcome back to Tech Talk. And here today, I'm going to talk to you guys about graphic design. The part of media that I think a lot of church either struggle with or they have this in their back pocket.
Oh,
Back pocket.
Hold on, let me check if I have it in my back. Nope, empty.
Empty. That's right, because you guys are not graphic designers.
Oh.
And churches that have graphic designers, they just can whip graphic designs like no other. That's right. Either because they've gone to school
Whip it.
or they can do it really good.
Whip it good.
Na 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 na.
Whip it good.
Oh, that's, I'm sorry, I'm Christian.
Well, that's
That's
from
why.
the 80s, though.
That's why he's the worship pastor.
Yeah.
That's right. So you may be asked a question, or maybe in your church setting, they're asking you, hey, can you really do some stuff for our children's ministry, like maybe a poster, or the women's ministry may come up to you, hey, there's a certain thing we're going to be doing for our retreat. Can you work on something? And you're like, you struggle because you really don't know how to do it.
How do you struggle?
You struggle.
Because you don't know how to do it.
You just don't know how to do
Got
it. So let me give you some pointers on certain things that could help you really make a really good graphic or flyer for either a sermon series, possibly a ministry, or possibly for a department at your church.
What about a ministry?
What about a ministry?
Yeah, does it have to be a department?
Well, some churches have departments.
Oh, got it.
Right.
But at Fado, we have.
What about if it's a Department of Defense?
Well, that could be too. You could be contracted by the Department of Defense to do something sick.
Got it.
Right.
That'd be nice.
But here at Fado Church, we only have ministries. We only have ministry. Now, some Hispanic churches, they have departments.
Departamentos.
That's right. They have chairmans and they have
And
CEOs
presidentes.
and CFOs.
What about the sheriff department?
That would be another department within the department.
Got it.
What about the Department of Agriculture?
Wait, I don't. Department of Agriculture.
He was running out of breath too.
Is that what it was?
That must be in another planet. All right, so here we go.
So,
What's the purpose behind designing your art and your graphic for whatever ministry is asking you?
are you asking me?
And if I'm asking you, don't be afraid to ask the questions.
Oh,
That's the number one thing you should take down is write the questions. Be specific in what you want. Don't allow them just to put the onus on you and say, create this for me.
The onus.
Yes. Is that a word?
yes.
Yes.
That's good. Don't allow them to do that. Really research. Ask them, what do you want to see? What kind of color scheme do you want to see? Is it just going to be for a certain age range? Is it going to be for just young adults or young women? Or is it going to be for older men? Is it going to be for seniors? Or is it going to be for kids?
What about the entire congregation?
Well, then if it's just for the general, then you really know what area to walk into. But ask those important questions. Ask questions. How big do you want it? How small do you want it? Is it going to be for flash media, mobile media? Is it going to be for print? Is it going to be for website? Or is it going to be for displaying at church?
What do you think is the question maybe most people won't think of?
Those questions I've asked.
So they won't ask at all?
They won't ask. They just say, design this for me, please.
Because it would seem to me.
Because
it
they
would-
expect you to know everything.
Got it.
No.
And then you want to say, wait, hold on. If this is going to be a team effort here, let's really think out. Because when you do think about something that is purposeful, then you really make an impact on the people that are seeing the media and whatever is being reached out. So you really want to put some noggin into it.
Noggin.
Noggin. That's the word of this podcast. Noggin.
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 The noggin. So for a couple things, brainstorm. Do a little bubbles, maybe do some maps, a spider web, and it could be, for example,
Can you blow bubbles? Like,
you could do that, like what Catherine does. She likes to blow bubbles.
yes.
Who's
But-
Catherine?
That would be Pastor Ricky's daughter.
Oh,
I'll introduce you to her later tonight.
no, not for me. I know who Catherine is.
Well, I explained that before when you were preaching, and I said, you know, it reminds me of my kids, Josiah, Catherine, 7 and 4.
Oh.
Did you miss that?
Yes.
I got it.
Got it.
I was sleeping during
Can
that
you
time.
turn on his headphones a little louder?
Can you please turn on my noggin? So,
What you want to do is you want to make sure that, for example, the 10 Commandments. That's probably one that maybe your pastor may want to preach about. Well, that's pretty easy.
good one.
If
Yeah.
they say, hey,
That's
we're
easy?
going to do a sermon on 10 Commandments.
Been her.
and we can do Ben-Hur, but no, we want to do the other guy.
Oh, what's that guy's name? The Ten Commandment guy. The
Moses.
Old no, the old movie.
Oh,
I
Charles-
remember the actor.
Charleston Hester.
Yeah. See, you would know that.
Hester or Heston?
Hester.
Because Charles Hester, isn't he the cornerback from the Bears?
No, that's
Devin Hester.
Devin
Hester, you
That's
are
the-
ridiculous.
That's
Yes.
the punt return guy.
That's the guy that ran
Sick.
On the opening drive for
on
the
the
football.
opening
Yes,
kick
Unreal.
of the Super Bowl all the way back.
that's right. But this is Charleston Hester,
Got it.
right?
And he did Ten Commandments.
He did the on tricolor.
So he was Moses.
Tricolor.
Tricolor.
And the Ten Commandments.
And that was back in 1950. That was the first tricolor. That's a trivia for all those people out there. The first tricolor movie out there was
Ten Commandments.
It wasn't Ben-Hur?
No, Ben-Hur was a different one. But anyway, going back to this. We don't want to sidetrack.
Sorry.
Sidetrack.
So,
You might want to think of 10 things that will really impact the 10 Commandments. Like
the
you
Ten
know,
Commandments.
don't steal. Don't lie. Don't covet. Don't cheat. Don't do all that stuff.
So
right?
wait. Are you saying think of 10 things for each of those?
And that could be part of your graphic design.
So that's like 100 concepts.
So
Well,
let's
no,
say
because
that.
it's 10.
Let's say a pastor tells you, Henry.
Yes.
I want you to make some graphic, something because next week I'm going to be talking about one of the 10 Commandments: do not commit adultery. What would you say to me as a pastor? So I'm saying, please create a promo piece for me to promote my message next Sunday on one of the 10 Commandments, which is do not commit adultery.
And I would ask, what kind of visuals do you foresee here? Do you see a guy lusting over a girl? Would
Yes.
that be appropriate to put on a church media?
Probably
Yes.
not.
oh, I mean, no.
Yes.
Wait. Yes.
No.
Well, because you have the church name to that, so you don't want to really associate cheating, because then you have to make your title very specific. And so,
you as a graphic artist, what kind of route would you take? What if the pastor says, you know what, maybe not. That's not a good idea.
and then I would just maybe stick with the title. I would just instead of putting a visual, I would just have a subtitle that would be compelling for people to think or know that that's what we're going to talk about. So then I would ask the pastor, what subtitle can we add to that? And so then the pastor would have to say, well, it has to be, have you ever thought of cheating? Question.
And what complications do you run into then? Because if you're talking about now, don't commit adultery, and you're thinking of subtitles, words, like Final Church, we're bilingual, so everything you do is bilingual. Would you create a different one bilingual? Would you put it together? How do you determine whether or not you're going to put it together? Things like that?
Consistency is the main thing. So whatever graphic that I use for the English people that we're trying to reach, we use the Spanish. You just change the words.
Okay, so will you use a different flyer, or would you put it all together in one?
It's same flyer, but just we use different layers for it to be for English and another layer to be Spanish. But we would use the same concept because I don't want to confuse our Spanish-speaking people and then our English people giving them two different messages, because you don't want to do that. You want to be very consistent on that aspect.
Right.
So, so 3 things you want to do, want to take out really quick, is content.
One.
That's number 1. It's very good. What kind of content you're going to have on your graphic flyer? Ask the questions, and then you'll know what kind of content you're going to have for your stuff. Number 2 is the mood. The mood is important.
Set the mood.
You want to set the mood. So right colors, right fonts.
Oh, so you're not talking about candles and music?
No, you want
What?
Dreams come true.
Wanna be with you.
3.
Thank you, Bobby McKnight.
Thank you.
Yes.
I would say Brian, but that sounded more like Bobby.
Thank you.
Brown.
Yeah.
So, mood. You want to set a right mood for your graphic. That's important. And then
So what establishes mood? I'm sorry, I'm not a graphics major.
That's right. Well, that would consist of color
Oh.
scheme. Also, fonts. What kind of fonts you want to do. Also, hierarchy. Where are you going to be placing the words on your... So is it going to be straight up like a normal headline of a newspaper? Is it going to be out to the side and be contemporary or tilted? Different degrees. So hierarchy is also very important, which we'll talk about in another podcast. What is hierarchy on graphics, on graphic design? And don't be afraid to ask questions and have fun. Have fun.
Is that number 3? Have fun?
Have fun with it, because if you don't have fun with it, then it becomes burdensome, and then you're going to hate what you're going to do. And when you create something that is not purposeful, not fun, with not good content and not a great mood, you're not going to have great results. Because the preaching is the same as what you deliver out. You want to deliver the same media, video, audio, propaganda, as whatever, as far as what you want to publish out, the word. It all has to be synced in. It's a team effort. It's just not the main pastor, senior pastor. It's everybody. So your graphic can never be overpowering then with the message of God, because if people like see the message, they see the graphic, and they come to church and the message is
What's
then, well, you know, you could put 2 and 2 together.
Oh, what about 1 and 1?
2 sources I want to give you guys really quick. We talk about Photoshop and Illustrator, and I know that's really expensive to have, and you're saying to yourself, I don't have Photoshop, I don't have Illustrator, and I always have to depend on someone else that has Photoshop and Illustrator. Is there anything I can use on my own? And certainly the answer is
No.
Yeah.
yes, there is.
Oh.
No.
2 resources, gimp.com, GIMP.com, or .org, I'm sorry, gimp.org,
Gimp?
G-I-M-P,
GIMP.
GIMP.
Like Gump, but with an I.
GIMP.org.
GIMP.
It is an image manipulation program. It is an open source, works great on Windows and PC. Download it, and it's free. And you can really manipulate images. If you have video, if you have photos that you want to change up, that's a great resource. And the next one for Illustrator, for vector-based programs, for flyers.
Vector base.
That's
Is that like Star Wars?
dun, 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 dun.
Vector base.
Inkscape.org. 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 That's another free open source vector-based program that you can use. So you don't have to use Illustrator or Photoshop. Obviously, those 2 programs are powerful and it gives you great things. But those are really good programs.
Vector base.
And raster-based program, Photoshop.
Raster base. Vector. Sounds like Star Wars.
What about sub-base?
Or subculture.
Base. How low can you go?
How low can you go? How low can you go? Very low. See, that was dynamic.
That was dynamic.
I was doing frequency.
Oh.
How low? And I can't even go that low.
How about if we cut this segment and then conclude it, because we're going over?
All right, let's conclude it then.
Well, so we learned a lot today in this show, and I hope that you guys have been were able to take some word, take the worship aspect, and take the media aspect away from this podcast. Stay tuned. We're going to be posting up some podcasts. You can always visit us at the countercultureshow.blogspot.com. You can visit us there, and you will have postings up there. Please send your friends to iTunes. You can search us on iTunes, The Counterculture Show, and you can look us up. If you look us up under Stephen Henry, you will have a link to this show or to this blog spot, so you can visit us, download us, tell your friends, tell everybody about it. We're really excited to be back on the air with Pastor Steve, Pastor Ricky, and myself. Thank you for listening to us.
Thank you, guys. It's been a blast.
I appreciate it very much.
Para toda mi gente, para mi pueblo.
Toda la gente en la puerta.
Yeah. Hey. 626? Yeah.
Rain in Spain, dance in France.
Al rato vato, de guacho cabacho.
I am out.
Out.